good YouTube? It's cuddleofdeath here. Hooray, happy day! Woo! And as you can see from the title of the video, I am going to teach you guys the quickest way to clone your Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. This is going to require a few things, and I'm going to go ahead and say before we, get further on in this video, if you don't have these things, there is another way to clone your Pokemon, but it's very strenuous and stressful. It's a lot harder, and I mean, you can just do it with your 3DS. I think you have to have 2 3DSs though, so that could actually be quite costly. However, if you do have 2 3DSs and you'd like to learn how to clone using 2 3DSs, I will leave a link to JayYTGamer's video in the description. He does a nice, very detailed walkthrough on how to clone with just 2 3DSs. However, this method is This is the quickest method to clone Pokemon. It requires 2 separate things. Not 2 3DSs, something a bit cheaper than that. However, you are going to need, obviously, your Pokemon X or Y game. You're going to need Pokebank, and you're also going to need a 3DS Powersaves device. I will leave a link in the description on where to buy them if you are in the US. I'm sure there are other retailers out there you can find by Googling if you live in a different country. But yeah, you're going to need Powersaves, you're going to need your copy of your game. You're also going to need Pokebank. You do need a physical copy of Pokemon X and Y. You cannot do this if you have downloaded it, because Powersaves requires a physical game going into the thing. So now that that's all done and over with, I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys how to clone. First of all, you need to figure out what Pokemon you would like to start cloning. For this little clone video, we are going to be using this 6IV Xerneas in the Uber box. You can clone boxes of Pokemon as well, I will show that, but first of all, we'll just, show cloning one, just to start with. So, organize your boxes, do whatever you want. It can be in your box, it doesn't matter what box it's in, just put it in whatever box that you'd like to start with. Save your game, because this is obviously going to be important for your power saves. Okay, so I already have my stuff saved, we're good to go. I'm just going to press this, and honestly, I'm going to go ahead, whoops, Pokebank is over here, and head into Pokebank. I'm just doing this so that I can open it up. It's already going to have this save file right here. I haven't done anything yet. I will swap over to a bigger screen so you guys can see the power saves. So now that we have Pokemon Bank open, I am going to swap over to power saves and make some magic happen. So what you're going to need to do is go ahead and pop your game out. I just did that with mine, and you're going to need to put it in your power saves. Give me 1 second. So it's going to read that. I'm going to swap over to the power saves. You guys can see I have all of these saves backed up automatically, but because we just saved our game, we want to start cloning the Xerneas, we are going to back up this particular save. So I'm just going to call it Xerneas, or I can't spell apparently, Xerneas, and I had a hiccup. So after that, it's going to back up your save, like I said, and it's very, very simple. I love power saves just for everything that you can, use it for. We backed up our save, so what you're going to do now is take your game out of the Powersaves device. We're going to swap back over to this layout so you guys can see. You're going to pop it back into your 3DS, because all we did right now is just back up the save. It's very, very simple. You guys will see. And once you learn this, it's going to be super, super easy to start cloning. So I got the game back in. Hopefully it detects the correct one. It's going to log me into Pokemon Bank, Pokebank. And I'm going to go ahead and press OK. Wait for it to connect to the internet. And then if you've been swapping games in and out, it might give you something saying that you have like a gift or whatever, and you can't pick it up on this game, so don't worry about it. Just click through everything. Just follow the instructions, and you will be on your way to start cloning Pokemon. Because a lot of people have actually requested this video, so I want to make sure to do it for them. Okay, so down at the bottom, you're going to have your Pokemon from your actual game. We need to go to the Uber box, which is where Xerneas was at, and because we're just cloning one at this point in time, put it into whatever box you would like to put it in Pokemon Bank, and save. So you've deposited your Xerneas, or I deposited my Xerneas in Bank 1. I am saving the game, And now that that has been saved, I'm gonna wait for it to go back to this screen. I'm gonna swap back over to Powersaves, and I'm gonna pop my cartridge back in to Powersaves and start backing up my previous save that I just made, which was the Xerneas save. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down. It should be near the bottom. Here we go. And we're going to press the restore button. Once it's actually picked up, I press yes to restore the backup. And this is literally, there is no quicker way to clone your Pokemon than this. You can pretty much rinse and repeat and then start cloning. I would say if you're cloning one Pokemon, you want to make an entire box of them. Do it 6 times to fill up a row, then save your game, back up that save, and then pretty much start cloning rows at once. And then eventually you get a box full, and then you can just start cloning that box, which I'm going to show you guys in just a second on how to clone a box of Pokemon. An entire box, and everything just gets easier from there. So our save has been restored. We're gonna swap back over to the actual game again, or Pokemon Bank. Pop our game back in. It's super simple, and I probably should have waited a moment. It might find my other game instead, and that's only if you have like a digital copy or whatever. You don't want to use that one because, like I said, you have to have a physical copy of the game. Okay, so let's try. Yep, it's still on the correct one. Good. So we're still gonna have the Xerneas in whatever box we put it in, which I believe it was just the first box, and we're gonna have the Xerneas in game in the Uber's box once it loads. And it doesn't want to connect. Ah! Okay, so let's try that again. Also, if it ever tells you that your Pokebank is locked, give it around 10 minutes and it should work again. We've only had that happen to us once so far. That's not because we're using Powersaves or anything, it's just something that maybe you've accessed Pokebank too much. Just like that. It's funny that I was just talking about that. So I will actually be back whenever it lets me connect again. So we should be able to get both of our Xerneas now. One of them should be in the Pokebank and the other should be in the Uber box. So I'm gonna go check that and show you guys. And afterwards I'm gonna show you guys how to clone an entire box of Pokemon, which is the exact same concept, the exact same easy way to do it, but some people would want me to go ahead and just show me cloning a box. So as you can see, we have a Xerneas in Bank 1 and the original one in the Uber box. And those were both, or that one was successfully cloned. You can continue to clone just like this. You can, you know, do an entire row and then save, do another row, so on and so forth. But let's say you want to go ahead and clone a box of Pokemon. I'm going to be cloning a box of Deontay. As you see, I've already done this in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and save this because we're going to need a new save since we just got our second 6IV Xerneas boxed up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to wait for this to disconnect, go back to the beginning screen, give it a few seconds. Hopefully it won't do that thing to us again where we have to wait. Go ahead and pop your game out and we're going to go over to Powersaves in just a quick moment. So here we are back in Powersaves. Going to pop my game in there. Literally pop it in there, I guess. And just give it like a few seconds to completely recognize the game. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and back up again. I'm going to name this a bunch of W's because why not? So this is going to be our save. Once again, it's going to create a backup save for us. Very simple. And then it's literally just a few steps every time. Pretty soon you can have boxes and boxes of Pokemon cloned. If you guys are doing Wonder Trades and you don't feel like breeding all of them, you can do that. There's like a fast egg hatch code and all that kind of stuff. So there is our brand new save, or our backup I should say. I'm going to pop this game back in Pokebank now. Back in my 3DS, not back in Pokebank. And there we go. All I need to do next is go in there, put the Deontays in a box, and then restore the save, and we should have a box of Deontay in Pokemon Bank and a box, you know, previously where it was. Hopefully it lets us connect. I'm gonna be so sad if it doesn't. Okay, good. So let's get this box that we have right here, box 20. Select it. I'm just gonna put it in bank 100. I'm gonna save the game, and my chair is gonna make a really loud noise. And then all we have to do is restore our previous save that we just made, the bunches of W's. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap back over to Powersaves, give it a few seconds, pop my game right back out, and I will be popping it back in Powersaves to restore the save for you guys. There we go. And it was named a bunch of W's. It does not matter what you name it, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and restore this save. And then we should have our box cloned once we get back into Pokebank. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time to read and rewrite the cartridge again, so just be patient. But it's still a whole lot faster than doing the method that involves using two 3DSs or two 2DSs. Any DS that can play Pokemon X and Y pretty much. So we are almost done with this cartridge being written. And then we should have really nice results. We should have another box of Deontay ready for us. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this back out. Whoops. I'm going to put it into my 3DS. And this is already going to read a completely different game now. I think it will. Otherwise it's going to take forever. Sometimes Pokebank is so slow. But still, it definitely beats trying to get the timing right on the other method. So we're going to go in here. Yeah, it wants to use the wrong game, so I'm going to press the back button. If it ever tries to use your digital game, just go back after you pop the game in, and then it should pick up the new one. And then you'll be okay. Because it likes to read the physical copies over the digital ones first. Which makes sense. Okay. So now it's going to take forever to load again. Yeah, it picked up the correct game. And it's going to let us in there. So now, in Bank 100, we do have a box of Deontay. And in box 20, we have our original box as well. So we have successfully cloned a box. And I've also shown you how to clone an individual Pokemon. I hope that this video is very, very helpful. Once again, the link to buy Powersaves will be in the description. That'll be for North American people only. If you just Google links or Google Powersaves in your region, you should be able to find some sort of retailer. A lot of people use Powersaves now, and I really, really like it. It's very useful for cloning and everything. So if this video has helped, please make sure to smash that like button to help show your support, as I will be covering other how-to videos in the future, especially with Powersaves, because Powersaves is constantly being updated and it has a lot of useful features and codes in it that help out with Pokemon X and Y games, and I'm sure, you know, whenever Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire comes out, it's going to be helpful with those games as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!